She posted all men are pathetic leeches while living off my salary, so I quietly moved out and cut her off. Now she's evicted, Carless, and suddenly thinks men aren't so useless. Hey, viewers! Before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here we are. 3 months ago, I was in what I thought was a loving relationship. Today, I'm single, peaceful, and watching my ex-girlfriend's life implode from a safe distance. Let me tell you how we got here. My name is Jake, and I'm a 29-year-old software engineer. I make good money, about $120,000 a year, and I've always been the type of guy who takes care of the people I love. Maybe that was my mistake. 3 years ago, I met Sarah at a coffee shop. She was 26, gorgeous, and had this infectious energy about building her brand as a lifestyle influencer. She was working part-time at a boutique then, but she had big dreams. We clicked immediately. She was passionate, creative, and funny. I was completely smitten. Within 6 months, we were practically living together. Within a year, she'd moved into my apartment officially. That's when things started to shift. Sarah quit her boutique job to focus on her content creation full-time. She needed to invest in herself, she said. I supported the decision. I loved her, and I wanted her to chase her dreams. I started covering more expenses, first rent, then groceries, then her car payment when she said she needed something more aesthetic for her posts. Babe, I just need time to build my following, she'd say whenever I gently ask about her progress. Once I hit 50K followers, the sponsorship money will start rolling in. The 50K became 100K, then 200K. The goalposts kept moving, but I didn't mind. I was making good money, and seeing her happy made me happy. I covered her rent, $1,800 per month. Her car payment, $420 per month. Insurance, $180 per month. Phone bill, $85 per month. Groceries, $400 per month. And her business expenses, ring lights, cameras, editing software, clothing for posts. All told, I was spending about $4,000 a month on her lifestyle. Sarah did gain some followers, about 12K on Instagram, 8K on TikTok. Not exactly influencer money, but she was persistent. She'd spend hours every day planning outfits, taking photos, and engaging with her audience. Meanwhile, I'd work my 9 to 5, come home, and we'd have dinner together. She'd show me her latest posts, and I'd encourage her. You're so supportive, she'd say. Most guys would never understand my vision. I thought we were a team. Then came that Friday night, 3 months ago. Sarah was out with her girlfriends at some trendy bar downtown. I was home, working on a side project, when my phone started buzzing with notifications. My coworker Matt had tagged me in a comment on Instagram. I opened the app and saw it, a video of Sarah, clearly drunk, surrounded by her friends in what looked like a bathroom. She was holding her phone, recording herself, and the caption made my blood run cold. Honest question for the girls. Why are all men such pathetic leeches? Like, they contribute literally nothing but expect us to carry them emotionally, financially, everything. Mine especially, just dead weight I have to drag around while I'm out here building my empire. Hashtag men are trash, hashtag independent woman, hashtag know your worth, hashtag dump his ass. I stared at the screen, my hands actually shaking. Financially, I was supporting her entire lifestyle. Emotionally, I listened to her problems, encouraged her dreams, and celebrated every small victory. Dead weight? The comments were already pouring in. Girl, yes. Drop that loser. You're too good for him, queen. Men literally contribute nothing to society, financial leeches. All of them, and Sarah was responding to every single one. Right? Like, why do we even keep them around? I'm so done with men who don't support my dreams. He's so controlling about money too. Like, sir, this is 2024, my coworker Matt had commented. Bro, isn't this your girlfriend? That's how I'd gotten tagged. I took screenshots of everything. Every comment, every response, every cruel word. Then I set my phone down and sat in complete silence for about an hour. This was the woman I'd been financially supporting for 2 years. This was what she really thought of me. And she'd said it publicly to thousands of people, including people we knew. I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I didn't storm out to the bar to confront her. Instead, I started planning. I pulled up our shared accounts and started methodically removing her access. Her phone was on my plan. I made a note to cancel it Monday. Her car insurance was bundled with mine, another note. The streaming services, the gym membership, the credit card I'd added her to for emergencies. I made a list of everything. Then I started packing. Not frantically, not emotionally, just methodically. I took only what was mine, my clothes, my electronics, my furniture that I'd owned before we moved in together. I left everything I'd bought for her, everything that had become ours. I didn't want any of it. By Sunday evening, I'd found a new apartment across town. By Monday, I'd put in the transfer paperwork. By Tuesday, I'd arranged for movers. Sarah came home Saturday morning hungover and giggling about her viral moment. She gained 200 new followers overnight. "Babe, you should have seen the girls last night," she said, scrolling through her phone. "We were so deep about toxic masculinity, and I saw your post," I said quietly. She looked up, and for a split second, I saw panic in her eyes. Then she laughed it off. "Oh, that? I was just drunk and venting. You know how girls get when we're together. You called me a pathetic leech. Dead weight. Jake, come on. It wasn't about you specifically. It was about men in general. You're being too sensitive. You said I was controlling about money. Well," she set her phone down. "Sometimes you do make comments about my spending. Sarah, I pay for everything. Your rent, your car, your food, your phone, your credit cards. Everything. That's not," she stopped. "That's different. You offered to help with those things. And now I'm pathetic deadweight for it?" She was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Look, I was drunk. I didn't mean it literally. But Jake, you have to understand. My followers expect a certain kind of content. I have to relate to them. By calling me a leech. It's not personal." I stared at her. "It's not personal. You're twisting my words. I love you, but sometimes you don't understand the pressure I'm under to build my brand." I nodded slowly. "I understand completely." That was Tuesday. By Wednesday, I was in my new apartment. I left her a note on the kitchen counter. "Sarah, since I'm pathetic dead weight, I figured you'd be happier without me. You'll need to handle rent on your own now. The lease is in my name, so you'll need to find somewhere else to live by the end of the month. Best of luck with your independence. Jake." I left my key next to it and walked out. Her phone was shut off by Friday. That's when the calls started, from friends' phones, from numbers I didn't recognize. "Jake, what the hell? My phone isn't working. Check with your phone company," I said calmly. "I'm sure they can help you set up your own plan." "You canceled my phone? Are you insane? I thought you didn't want to be financially dependent on pathetic leeches." I was drunk. You know I didn't mean it. You seemed pretty clear about it. Your followers agreed." I hung up. She called back immediately. "Jake, please. I'm sorry. I was stupid and drunk and, Sarah, you made your feelings about men like me very clear. I'm just respecting your position." "My position? What position?" "That men are pathetic leeches who contribute nothing. I'm making sure you don't have to deal with that anymore." "You're being ridiculous. You can't just cut me off." "Actually, I can. Everything was in my name. You're an independent woman. You'll figure it out." She hung up on me. The next call came the following day. "Jake, I can't afford groceries. My cards aren't working. Have you tried getting a job?" "I have a job. I'm an influencer." "How much did you make last month?" Silence. "Sarah, it's not about the money right now. It's about building the foundation." "How much?" $47. "From sponsors?" "From a few small affiliate links." "Sarah, I was spending $4,000 a month on your lifestyle. You made $47. That's not the point." "What is the point?" "The point is that you're being vindictive. You're trying to punish me for one stupid post." "I'm not punishing you. I'm just not being a pathetic leech anymore." She started crying. "Please, Jake. I'm sorry. I was so stupid. I didn't mean any of it. You meant it enough to post it publicly. You meant it enough to respond to comments agreeing with it. You meant it enough to call me controlling. I was drunk. You were honest." I hung up again. The calls kept coming. Every day, sometimes multiple times a day. The tone shifted from anger to bargaining to desperation. "Jake, I'll delete the post. I'll apologize publicly. Don't worry about it. Your followers loved it. Jake, please. I'm going to be evicted. The rent is due tomorrow." That sounds like a problem for an independent woman to solve. "Jake, my car got repossessed. How am I supposed to get to job interviews? Public transportation?" "Jake, I'm staying on my friend's couch. I have nowhere to go. I'm sure your followers will help you out." They didn't, of course. Emotional support and hard eye emojis don't pay rent. By week 3, she was getting desperate. Jake, I'm begging you. I'll do anything. I was completely wrong. About what? About calling you deadweight. About saying men are leeches. About all of it. So you think men aren't pathetic leeches? No. I mean, not you. You're not pathetic. You're amazing. You're supportive and generous but I was deadweight. No. I was trying to fit in with my friends. They all talk like that about their boyfriends, and I felt like I had to, so you threw me under the bus for social media likes. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sarah, do you know how humiliating it was? My coworkers saw that post. My friends saw it. My family saw it. Everyone knows that my girlfriend publicly called me a pathetic leech while I was paying for her entire life. I know. I'm so sorry. I'll make it right. How? I'll post an apology. I'll tell everyone the truth. What's the truth? That you're amazing. That you supported my dreams. That I'm an idiot. And that I couldn't survive without you. Is that the truth? Yes. Then why should I take you back? Silence. Sarah. Because I love you? You loved me when you made that post too. She hung up. A month later, her friends started calling me. First Jessica, then Amanda, then her whole circle. Jake, she's really struggling. Don't you think you're being a little harsh? I'm being exactly as harsh as she was. But she was drunk. She didn't mean it. She responded to comments for hours. She was sober for some of it. She made a mistake. She made a choice. You're destroying her life over social media drama. I'm not destroying anything. I'm just not funding her lifestyle anymore. She's learned her lesson. Good for her. Don't you care about her at all? I cared about her when she called me pathetic deadweight. Look where that got me. Then her parents called. Her mom was crying. Jake, sweetie, I know Sarah hurt you, but she's our daughter. She's back home with us now, and she's trying to find work, but Mrs. Peterson, I'm sorry Sarah is struggling, but this isn't my problem anymore. But you two were so good together. We were. Until she decided I was a pathetic leech. She was just drunk and showing off. She was being honest. Please, Jake. She's learned her lesson. Can't you find it in your heart to forgive her? I do forgive her. I just don't want to be with her. But she needs help. She's an adult. She'll figure it out. 2 months in, the angry calls started. You know what, Jake? You're proving my point. You were trash. You're financially abusing me. How am I financially abusing you? By cutting me off. Sarah, we broke up. I don't owe you money. You do. We were together for 3 years. And you spent 3 years calling me deadweight. I called you that once. You called me that publicly to thousands of people. You're being petty. I'm being practical. I should have left you years ago. You should have. I could have found someone better. You should have. I hate you. I know. She hung up. The call stopped for a while after that. I thought maybe she'd finally moved on. I was wrong. 3 months to the day after I moved out, she showed up at my apartment. I'd given my address to our mutual friend Mike when he needed to return something, and apparently, he'd shared it with her. I opened the door to find Sarah standing in the hallway, and I barely recognized her. She'd lost weight, her hair was unwashed, and she was wearing clothes I'd never seen before, cheap, ill-fitting clothes. Jake, she said, and her voice was small. Please, can we talk? I looked at her for a long moment. What do you want to talk about? I want to apologize. Really apologize. I was wrong about everything. Okay. Can I come in? No. She flinched. Please. I need you to understand how sorry I am. I understand that you're sorry. You've been sorry for 3 months. I know, but I need to explain. What's to explain? You thought I was pathetic deadweight. You said so publicly. You were right to leave me. I wasn't right. I was completely wrong. About what? About you being deadweight. About men being leeches. About all of it. So you think men aren't pathetic leeches? No. I mean, some are, but not you. You're not pathetic. You're incredible. But I was deadweight. No. You were the opposite of deadweight. You were carrying me, and I was too stupid to see it. So you were the deadweight. She started crying. Yes, I was the deadweight. I contributed nothing. I was a leech. I know. Jake, please. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm begging you. Give me another chance. Why? Because I love you. Because I need you. Because I can't survive without you. You said you were building your empire. I wasn't building anything. I was playing pretend while you supported my delusions. So you admit you were delusional? Yes. And entitled? Yes. And you publicly humiliated me? Yes. And you don't deserve another chance? No, I don't. Then why are you asking for one? She was sobbing now. Because I'm desperate. Because I'm homeless. Because I can't afford food. Because I have nothing left. You have your independence. I don't want independence. I want you. You can't have me. Why not? Because I don't want you. She stopped crying and looked at me in shock. What? I don't want you, Sarah. I spent 3 years taking care of someone who thought I was pathetic deadweight. I'm not doing that again. But I don't think that anymore. You think that because you need me. What happens when you don't need me? What happens when you're back on your feet? I won't. You'll remember that you're too good for me. You'll remember that I'm holding you back from your dreams. You'll remember that men are pathetic leeches. No, I won't. Yes, you will. Because that's who you are. I can change. You had 3 years to change. You didn't change until you needed something from me. Please, Jake. I'm different now. You're broke now. That's not the same thing. I've learned my lesson. Your lesson was don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's not growth. That's consequences. She stared at me for a long moment. So that's it? You're just going to let me suffer. I'm not letting you do anything. Your life is your responsibility. You're heartless. I'm practical. You used to love me. I used to love someone who I thought loved me back. I did love you. You loved what I provided. There's a difference. That's not true. Sarah, you called me pathetic deadweight while I was paying for your entire life. If that's love, I don't want it. She stood there crying for another minute, then finally said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. I ruined everything. Yes. I hate myself. That's not my problem. She looked at me one last time, then turned and walked away. I watched her go, then closed the door and went back to my life. That was 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard from her since. I'm doing well. Better than well, actually. I'm saving money. I'm sleeping better, and I'm not walking on eggshells around someone who thinks I'm pathetic. I've been on a few dates, and it's nice to be with people who appreciate what I bring to the table instead of resenting it. My friends keep asking if I feel bad for her, if I think I was too harsh. The answer is no. I don't feel bad for someone who publicly humiliated me while I was supporting her dreams. I don't feel bad for someone who thought I was pathetic dead weight until she needed me again. Sometimes consequences are uncomfortable. That doesn't make them unfair. Sarah wanted to know what life looked like without pathetic leeches like me. Now she knows. As for me, I'm just grateful I finally learned what she really thought of me before I wasted any more time trying to make her happy. The funny thing is, her last Instagram post was 3 weeks ago. The caption read, taking a break from social media to focus on personal growth and gratitude. Sometimes we don't know what we have until it's gone. She's down to 8,000 followers now. Turns out people aren't that interested in following someone whose empire was built on someone else's credit card. I'm sure she's learned her lesson. I'm sure she'd never take me for granted again. I'm sure she'd appreciate everything I did for her if I gave her another chance. I'm also sure I don't care. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.